Okay, if you'll just have a seat, we're going to get started here in a minute. Learn to light a candle in the darkest moments of someone's life. Be the light that helps others see. It is what gives life its deepest significance. That's from Roy T. Bennett. Thank you. Welcome to the first existentialist congregation at Planners, Celebration of Life. My name is Jane Lister, and I will be your facilitator today. And our musician today is Charlie Cook. And it's time for our opening congregational song, which is All Songs in Pink. Oh, All the Songs in Pink.
Yeah, all the songs.
Oh, I see. Okay, Love is a Circle, page 86.
Prayer.
We are a philosophically based spiritual community dedicated to human liberation and founded on existentialist and feminist principles. By existentialist principles, we mean that we are what we do in the world, and we accept responsibility for our choices and our actions.
Jan, can you adjust the microphone? It's hard to hear.
Better?
Yes.
Sorry. By feminist principles, we mean that we accept and actively support freedom and justice for every person. We support diversity as a source of strength, and we actively include everyone. We make our spiritual home in the old stone church, which was hand-built 100 years ago by the African-American Antioch East Baptist Church. We honor their labors of love and the powerful history of this very special place, which was deliberately and cruelly taken away from them. We acknowledge that our spiritual home stands on land forcibly taken from the Muscogee Creek people. We support justice and equality for all Indigenous people. At this time, I'd like to remind you to please put your devices on silent. If you have any community announcements, please write them down and bring them up to me, and I will announce them shortly. Pen and paper should be available on the back table. Feel free to move about sanctuary as you need to during the service. We just ask that you do so quietly so it's not to disturb others. And we have coffee and tea in the kitchen and a bathroom in the front entrance. Okay, our speaker today is our own fellowship minister, Reverend Marsha Mitchiner, whose topic is a Day of the Dead. I'm going to tell you a true story that I rarely ever tell because nobody ever believes me. When I was about 20 years old, on October 30th that night, I went to Alabama to see the band, and didn't get home until 3 or 4 in the morning, and I was just really tired the next day, so I decided to stay on Mom's house at the time, and give out candy and go to bed early. So I gave out candy. It was about 11:30, I went to bed, and I just lay there, and as tired as I was, I just couldn't sleep. So I decided maybe I should read for a little while. So I reached over to turn on the lamp, and something was stopping me from turning on the lamp. I couldn't do it. And I thought, well, this is weird. I couldn't feel anything or see anything. I just wasn't able to turn the lamp on. So I lay back down in bed, stayed there for a couple more minutes, and thought, okay, well, this is ridiculous. So I reached over again to turn on the lamp. Only this time, I felt someone's arms around me. And they were warm and soft and wonderful and sweet, and I just felt very comfortable. I was confused, but I felt good. So I just lay there and let it happen. And then after a couple of minutes, it started to fade away. And I lay there for another minute, hoping it wouldn't, but it did. So I thought, okay. I reached over one more time to turn on the lamp. This time, I felt his arms around me, and then I felt myself floating up into the air. And I looked down and I saw my body in the bed. And he floated there with his arms around me. And I can't explain the beauty and wonder of that moment. It's probably the most beautiful thing that's ever happened to me. I never wanted it to stop. I just wanted to stay there. But after a couple of minutes, I felt myself going back down, drifting back into my body. And I just laid there and was like, whoa, what just happened? And I laid there for a couple more minutes, but I knew it was gone at that point. Just like I knew it was there to begin with, I knew it was gone. But I lay there anyway, hoping it wasn't. And then finally, after a couple of minutes, I went to turn the lamp on, turn it right on, no problem. I had no idea what that was. But fortunately, I lived next door to a Sikh who was a very spiritual guy, and I went and told him the story. And he said it sounded to him like somebody was trying to cross over and was using my body for a vessel. And I thought, well, you know, that actually makes perfect sense. And I was thrilled that I was chosen for whatever reason. I don't know if it was me exactly or if I was just in the right bed at the right time. I don't know. But it was a wonderful, beautiful experience. And I was very happy that I could help somebody in the next life. There is no one who can tell me that spirits don't exist. I know they do. I've been there. Knowing how much Marsha loves Day of the Dead, I'm really looking forward to her views on the matter. Where is Marsha?
She was in the kitchen.
There is a land of the living and a land of the dead, and the bridge is love, the only survival, the only meaning. And that's from Thorpe and Wander. And from Anne Frank, dead people receive more flowers than the living ones because regret is stronger than gratitude. Anne Frank may be the greatest example of life after death. She was brilliant even at the age of 14 when she did most of her writing. Her insights were astonishing, especially for one so young. And I'm so happy that she left us that piece of herself that will live on forever. She may know. Okay, we'd like to take this moment to recognize any newcomers that may be here for the first or second time or hadn't been here in a long time. Anybody new? Okay, and now is the time for us to celebrate anyone who is present, who may be celebrating a milestone, such as a birthday, anniversary, special occasion. Nobody? Darn.
All right.
All right, Christopher, come on.
Yes?
It just takes a second to come on.
Yes, okay. Yeah, my baby turned 18 on the 27th, and she voted the next day.
Yeah.
If we want to sing, let's do it.
What's her name?
Morgan.
My baby turned 37 on the 18th, so we can sing to both of them. Her name's Zoe.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Morgan and Zoe. Happy birthday to you.
All right, thanks.
Mine's been voting age for 16 years now. Okay, our next congregational song is Will the
Circle?
Circle Be Unbroken. Thank you. Page 89.
89.
Freedom.
Marsha. Oh, Marsha. There you are. Do you want to do your minute of,
No,
your way?
later.
Okay. So we will not have any announcements. I didn't get any. Anyway, our last minute community announcement.
I have one.
Okay.
Just letting everyone know that a film crew had planned to film in the Camelot Park Business District on Election Day. And so that is not happening through neighbors and the city of Atlanta. So they will not be filming because it would have impeded access to the neighborhood church, which is the location for the precinct.
So they're not going to film?
So they will not film on Tuesday. But they had sent notices out that they were going to film on Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., which are the times the polls were open. And so I sent a letter to everyone I could think of, but the issue had already been resolved. But my point is, filming people do not plan 3 days in advance, which they gave us a 3-day advance notice that they would be filming. So, thank you.
Thanks for taking it out now.
Well, I sent it to all news agencies, and then of course, the filming company is like, we don't want to have any publicity about this.
Thank you. Nina.
Oh, sorry, personal ones.
Sorry?
Personal ones.
Okay, well, that comes next. Well, actually, that doesn't come next. What comes next is our silent meditation. You can light candles, the candles on either side of the room. Just sit and reflect, and feel free to get up. If you do, please be cognizant of your fellow congregation's silent time. And I'll let you know when it's over. For Dave. What was that? Be on page 6.
Soon the day will arrive when we will be together, and no longer will we live in fear. And the children
That was lovely. I actually had my eyes closed and had visions in my head of some 1800 spirits dancing with each other slowly and flowing. And it was lovely. Thank you. Okay, our featured speaker today is Reverend Marsha Mitchiner. Marsha was ordained by us, the First Existentialist Congregation, after several years of study with founding minister Reverend Lanier Clance. Today she is part of the connective tissue of our congregation, holding together disparate elements, reaching out to folks whom we haven't heard from recently, and comforting those who need support. She plays in the dirt whenever she can, refreshes herself with her partner on trips to the Georgia mountains, and shares her thinking with us several times each year. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Marsha Mitchiner.
Well, as John Steinbeck said in Of Mice and Men, the best laid plans of mice and men often go astray. That happened to me this morning. I forgot my message at home. So it's a good thing that I'm very familiar with what I want to talk about today. So I'm going to be talking off the cuff a little bit. But today is one of my favorite days of celebration here at First Existentialist, because this is the Day of the Dead. It is a celebration of life, not of death. It is an opportunity for us to think about those that we have loved and lost. The celebration itself began in Mexico and is a blending of the Aztec tradition, celebrating the dead, and the Catholic tradition of All Saints and All Souls Day that the Catholics brought to the Americas when they colonized. It is a day when we think about those that we love and we build an altar. We have one here. Often in Mexico, the altars are in cemeteries, and they have particular items that they celebrate, that they use during the celebration. They put down marigold petals because the strong scent of the marigold will draw the souls into our realm. The idea of this day is that the veil actually lifts between the underworld or the other world and our world, so that these souls can come through. The little tissue paper that you see across the front, they do that with those figures that have become the traditional figures of Day of the Dead, but they specifically use the tissue paper made like that so that the souls have a way to come through the veil. And the tissue represents fragility of life. Another one of the water and tequila. How could I possibly have forgotten that one? They place water and tequila on their altars because the souls are often thirsty when they arrive. I think that's pretty convenient. But it is, those of you who have seen pictures specifically from Mexico for Day of the Dead, you see how festive it is. What a positive, uplifting thing that it is. Because, again, it's not focusing on death, but it is focusing on the lives of the people that we have loved and lost, and what they gave us during that lifetime. There are so many people that we've lost here at First D over the many years that we've, in our 46 years. I've made a list of those. I'm afraid that I may have forgotten some since I was doing this off the top of my head. But I want to say their names. If you knew them, if you would say their name after me. Charlotte Salmons. Pat Hewitt. Belinda Gibbs. Elaine Hall. Leon Garner. Gay Dillinger. Hank Feidenauer.
Hank Feidenauer.
Becky Dillard. Gordon Hamrick. Nathaniel Jones. Al Roselle. Ab Roselle. Meg McDonough. Reverend Dean Rowley. Sharon Sanders. Martha Renfro Garner. Reverend R. Lanier Clance. Phyllis Stacus. Robert Stewart. If anyone knows of a name that I have forgotten, you can shout it out.
Robin Stinson.
Thank you. Robin Stinson.
Lynn Tippett.
Of course. Yeah. Lynn Tippett. I had Lynn on my other list. I had forgotten Robin.
Glenn Lopez.
I had him on my list. Thank you. Now I'd like for you to say the name of some of the loved ones that you have lost. Just say their names.
Larry White. David White. Terry Zacho. Jane Macklin. Honora White. Smiley White. Ruby West. Emerson. Zed Emerson.
So many names, but you remember them. What's important is that when you think of them, that you don't think of them in terms of their death, but rather, what did they give you? What did they mean to you in life? Because that is their gift that they gave you. I personally remember my big sister, who was the one in my family that what gave me unconditional love. That she was always there for me, no matter what. And before she passed in 1999, at the age of 58, she saw me probably at my worst, going through some really bad things and acting out, and yet she didn't blink an eye, you know. She was always there for me. My mother gave me so many gifts about loving nature, feeding the birds, and anytime that I go out and hang up, you know, put food in my bird feeder, I think about my mother and how proud she would be of me that I'm keeping that tradition going. Recently I lost my brother. We weren't as close, I was not as close to him as I was my sister, but he was always the one that I looked up to. Growing up, he was the only boy in our family, so we joked about, well, I'm not sure it was exactly a joke, but we kind of treated him like he was Jesus Christ reincarnated. Because, I mean, he was the boy. And, but when he grew up, I mean, he became the most incredible man. And he and his wife raised 3 boys. And I've never known 3 men to have the kind of relationship that these 3 boys have. And my brother was very specific about that he wanted them to have that kind of relationship where they can call each other every week, they can poke fun at each other and love each other. So think about, how was your life influenced by the people that you've lost? What did you learn from them? What would you say was one of their biggest gifts that they gave you? And do you act in a way in your life that reflects some of those gifts? I think that Day of the Dead is very existential because it reminds us that life is a journey, begins with birth and ends with death for every single one of us. But we don't focus on the death. We focus on how to live each day in between. That's what's important. I'm just trying to picture those words on that page, you know, that I've already written. Well, I don't think that I really need to say a whole lot more about what this celebration is, because you've brought your pictures, maybe some memorabilia, a special food of your loved one. I brought creamy tomato soup with saltine crackers that are buttered and I'm gonna toast. Because that was my big sister's, one of her favorite things, especially this time of year. I hope that if anyone else brought some stuff, I know a couple of you did, that after the service that you'll stay and enjoy what we brought. But I want you to take the opportunity, please, to speak to someone else about someone that you loved. Tell them a story about them, a way that you remember them. I think that's really important. It's a way of sharing our love and the experience that we had with someone else. So I encourage you to please do that after the service. You might come up and look at your pictures, and I know some of those pictures are just your traditional shots, but there are a couple of them in there that are a little more we'll say authentic, and that it reflects the character of that person. So if you come up and look at your picture and there's someone standing next to you, point it out. Tell them. Tell them who that person is and what they meant to you. I think that sharing is very important. I'm going to close because I cannot remember the rest of the message, and I don't want to bore you standing up here just trying to pretend. But I want to read a poem. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. If you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known and loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. Thank you. I hope y'all will stay after the service and enjoy some of Marilyn's soup and whatever else that we have back there from other people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marsha. Before we have closing remarks, we'll have our closing congregational song. Which will be Song to be Sung, page 15.
After the third verse is points out the back page, we're not going to do that. So we'll just add just the chord. So don't feel comfortable.
There are still songs to be sung, and there are bells to be rung.
like to invite you to attend our celebration of life next Sunday, when our speaker will be Sharon Mathis, whose topic is In Limbo, Learning Needs. And Sharon is a gardener, so I'm sure she knows what she's talking about. And I'd like to thank the wonderful Charlie Rowe for I'm going to end with just a couple of quotes. I knew a man who once said, "Death smiles at us all. All a man can do is smile back." And that's from the movie Gladiator. Your days are numbered. Use them to throw open the windows of your soul to the sun. If you do not, the sun will soon set, and you with it. That was from Marcus Aurelius. And I'm not sure where this comes from, but I love it. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams. Thank you so much for being here. Please stay. And see you next week.